Hello everybody. Today we are going to talk about Hill cipher and Ifide cipher. Both of these, they are the monoalphabetic substitution ciphers. That is, one character is going to be represented or encoded by another character, another letter, under another alphabet, whatever you say. And substitution means, yes, they are represented by some other, they're substituted by some other value. So let's first start with the Hill cipher. Hill cipher was actually founded in 1929. It is a matrix multiplication cipher. So it is a polygraph cipher. What do I mean by polygraph? Means that it is going to encode a group of characters. So usually it is a digraph, but it can be a trigraph also. But beyond trigraph, we avoid. Now this grouping is irrespective of the length of the message which we need to encode. It is just how do we proceed with the encoding or the encryption at a time. So how we treat the individual elements. So either it works as a digraphs or trigraphs. Beyond trigraphs, it will become little cumbersome because of the matrix multiplication. Let's first see what is Hill cipher so that we understand it better. So this is the simple representation of the Hill cipher as taken from the Williams-Tarrants. Okay. So the C is representation of a ciphertext vector. T is your plain text vector, which will be group of either 2 characters or 3 for a trigraph. And key is the matrix. It is a square matrix with a dimension. If my trigraph is there, if I'm going to encode a trigraph, so key will be a 3 cross 3 matrix. If it is a digraph, then my key will be a 2 cross 2 square matrix. So my ciphertext will be 2 cross 1 vector, that is 1 row of 2 different elements. My plain text would be 1 row of 2 characters or 2 alphabets. Now, how do I go with it? Let's try to this is just a generalized grammatical representation. So the first element, so here we are talking about a trigraph. So when I say trigraph, it means 3 groups. So there will be 3 elements of my plain text. Let's say it is say, S-A-Y. So S-A-Y, so S will be P1, A will be P2, and Y will be P3. Okay. To have a corresponding ciphertext, cipher value, C, I will have encoding for S and encoding for A and encoding for Y, which would be represented by C1, C2, C3. Since we are dealing with multiplication, definitely it will require some numeric values. So we are making use of substitution table. We'll see it eventually. So this is the substitution table what we're going to use. All our alphabets, they're simply numbered from 0 up till 25 in English. So each alphabet will be represented by its integer equivalent. So it means for S, I would have the value 18. For A, I would have the value 0. And for Y, I would have the value 24. Okay. So my first value of the plain text would be given by P1 is 18, P2 is 0, and P3, that is why it is 24. Okay. So we'll have a key matrix since it is a trigraph. So it would be 3 cross 3 matrix, means the number of characters which we are grouping at a time, the same dimensions are used to generate the square key matrix to be used for the encryption. Okay. So based on this, we'll be able to generate our C1, C2, C3, 3 elements. So I think I should go to the example before it confuses you so much. So basically understand for every character, every alphabet, what we are going to encrypt, we are using a substitution which is the integer equivalent, and it will have an equivalent unique encoded cipher value. Okay. So decryption, it will be inverse of the encryption process. And now let's start with the example using the substitution table. You should memorize or remember this. So let's take this example. Here I'm going to take this. The entire word is, the message is, if scam detected, loss will be huge. Okay. So I am going for diagraphs. So I will distribute this entire message into groups of 2. First IF, next SC, then AM, then DE, then TE, then CT, ED, LO, double S, WI, WL, B, so on. In case your message is such that the last character is a single one and it is a diagraph, you will have to put a dummy character in case of that. Okay. So let's first start with this. So from the substitution table, I will take the equivalent values of my first 2 characters, that is I and F. So I has the integer equivalent 8 and F has the integer equivalent 5. So I will have F, okay, encoded as 8 and 5. Now this is a random key we are using. Again, it is a diagraph. It means the dimensions of my key matrix would be 2 cross 2. It always has to be square matrix with n equal to the number of characters we are grouping together. So now I hope you understand that if we are going to increase the dimensions or the grouping, it will increase by square matrix and make the computation more complex. So we generally limit ourselves to trigraphs. So let's start the process of encryption. So my cipher would be simple matrix multiplication of this key with my vector of this character, that is 8 and 5, my first diagraph, and modulo 26. So if I multiply, it would be 3 into 8 plus 7 into 5, which gives me 59. And then 5 into 8, 40, plus 12 into 5, that is 60, 100. Now when I divide it by mod 26, the remainder I get is, for 59, I get 7. And for 100, I get the remainder 22. Because 26 2s are 52. So when 52 is subtracted from 59, I'll get this value. And for 3, if I multiply 26 by 3, I get the value 78. So when 78 is subtracted on division, it will give me the remainder as 22. Okay. Now this is my integer equivalent of the encrypted encrypted values. That is, these are the encrypted values for my original plain text characters 1 alphabet CIF. So let's see from the substitution table, 7 stands for H and 22 for W. So this means if is now encrypted as HW, which makes us an unintelligent message. Similarly, for the SC, that is next diagram, I can take the integer equivalent, that is S is having the integer equivalent as 18 and C as 2. So we again do the matrix multiplication and we should be getting these values, 16 and 10. 16 has the corresponding alphabet as Q and 10 has the corresponding alphabet as Q. So this process can be carried out throughout till we are able to cover our entire message. And as I told you, if we are making diagraphs or diagraphs and there is a single character which is left, मतलब जैसे हमने डायग्राफ बनाया और एंड में कैरेक्टर रह गया ई, तो ई के साथ कुछ नहीं है, खत्म, हमारा मैसेज खत्म हो गया, तो आई कैन पुट अ डमी कैरेक्टर एक्स इन केस ऑफ दैट. सो यू विल हैव टू इन्वेंट दैट अगर आपका ऐसा केस है. So now it is pretty simple, yes. So now start with decryption. So now we have the encrypted value, that is HW. I have the encrypted message. I want to get the plain text. This is the role of the decryption. So I'll take again the integer equivalents of this. H has 7 and W is 22. The formula is that plain text requires inverse key into the ciphertext modulo 26. So the key we used is 35712 and the cipher is 7 and 22. Now we know that inverse is given by adjoint of the matrix over its determinant. So let's try to first find the determinant. Determinant for a 2 cross 2 matrix is pretty simple. It's very easy. Simple cross multiplication and subtraction of the elements. It is 3 into 12 minus 7 into 5. So it is 36 minus 35, which is 1. So this simplifies the process. And by K inverse is simply the adjoint of K. Adjoint of K, वैसे तो we use cofactor matrix, but otherwise 2 cross 2 matrix के लिए बड़ा simple है. What you are going to do is, you just swap the values, cross values. So 3 is interchanged with 12 and 12 is moved to the place of 3. Similarly, I swap the places of 7 and 5, but here I put the negative sign along with that. Why do we do that? This comes from the cofactor matrix generation, because adjoint matrix is transpose of the cofactor matrix. Okay. We will talk about it further. If you want the details on that, we'll talk about how the cofactor is going to be generated in a more elaborated video where I'll use 3 cross 3 thing. Okay, but for now, let's make it simple and understand that simply I have to change their positions, and for this diagonal positions, I have to change the sign also. So simply, because determinant is 1, my denominator turns out to be 1. So adjoint is simply 12 minus 7 minus 5, 3. Obviously, my substitution doesn't have minus, so I can convert the negative values to positives using the modulo 26. So minus 7 plus 26 gives me positive value of 19. And minus 5 plus 26 gives me a positive value of 21. So let's generate my plain text. Now it is simply reduced to matrix multiplication. So the same way I preceded in the encryption, I'll do the multiplication. So it is 12 into 7 plus 19 into 22. Then 21 into 7 plus 3 into 22. So this gives me two values, 502 and 230, big numbers, but no worries. We are going to take the mod 26 of that. So when I take the mod 26 of that, the values what I get as a remainder is 8 and 5. Now if we go to the substitution table, corresponding to 8, the character is A, I, and corresponding to 5, the character is F. So my plain text what I get is F, which is very correct because we had originally encoded the ref F to HW. Okay. So this is Hill cipher. Next we go to is affine cipher. So we continue with the affine cipher. Okay. Before we go to affine cipher, yes. No, this was very simple because my determinant was 1. So the process became very simple. There was no division involved. Otherwise, when I'm going to talk about modular arithmetic division, it makes the process a little difficult. So let's take another key. Same characters we are going to take. If is only our original digraph, we are going to encrypt. So the values, they remain same for my plain text, but the key has been changed. So I do the matrix multiplication. Again, 9 into 8 plus 4 into 5. That gives me 92. Second element is 5 into 8, that is 40, plus 7 into 5, that is 35, which gives me 75. Now, when I do the modular 26, I get the remainders 14 and 23. So if I find the equivalent alphabets for 14, From the substitution table, it comes out to be O. And for 23, it comes out to be X. So yes, we are getting the encrypted value as OX ox. So let's start with the decryption. So it is said to be non-singular. When the determinant is not when it is not one, it is said to be a non-singular key. Okay. So the same decryption process we are going to follow. We first find the determinant. To find the determinant, it is simple. Cross multiply and subtract. 9 into 7, 63 minus 4 into 5, that is 20. So 63 minus 20 gives me 43. Converting it into a modulo, I get 17 as the value. Okay. Now to find the K inverse, the simple formula is adjoint over the this. So adjoint, as I told you, for finding the adjoint, I have to swap. So it would be 7 here, 9 here. Should be 7, 9, and here it would be 4. Their places are interchanged, along with the sign also changed. So it would be 9, 7, minus 5, 9, and minus 4. And adjoint is ट्रांसपोज ऑफ दैट. ट्रांसपोज मतलब जो रो है वो कॉलम हो जाती है, जो कॉलम है वो रो हो जाता है. तो इसका मतलब मेरा फिर से ये यहाँ पे जो 5 था, इट विल कम बैक हियर बिकॉज ऑफ ट्रांसपोज, एंड दिस इज व्हाट आई विल गेट. So 7 minus 4, 9 minus 5 divided by 17, 70, that is the value of this determinant. Now this is a difficult thing to find the division, the modular arithmetic. So what we do is, we replace it by the multiplicative inverse of the determinant. That is 17 is my determinant. I find its multiplicative inverse. अब multiplicative inverse क्या होता है? So let's understand the multiplicative inverse. So multiplicative inverse with respect to modulus is any number which when multiplied with the number for which we are finding should give the modulus answer as 1. For example, we have two values x into y, and here our modulus of interest is 26. So if x is 9, it means to find the multiplicative inverse of 9, I have to find the value of y such that when y is multiplied by 9, the product, when I take the modulus 26 of that, should return me 1. Okay, that is remainder should be 1. So by inspection and using the values by hit and trial, I can see that 9 when multiplied by 3 gives me 27, and 27 when I apply modulus 26 gives me the answer 1. So it satisfies the criteria. It means 3 is the multiplicative inverse of 9. So in our example, that is the cipher example, we had to find the multiplicative inverse of 17. So for multiplicative inverse of 17, we apply the same procedure. So it means x in this case is 17. And I have to find the value y such that when 17 is multiplied by y, the product when applied, modulus 26 is applied, should give me the remainder or the answer 1. So by hit and trial, we get this value to be 23. The product of 23 and 17 is 391. So if I divide it by 26, what do I get? We can just, check it. So 391. When I divide by 26, so it gives me, so if I apply 5, 0, 3 goes, so yes, satisfied. So it means it is correct. The multiplicative inverse of 17 is 23. So this was a brief on how we find the multiplicative inverse. So now we have actually Then what is Hill cipher? We have covered a simple example of digraph Hill cipher encryption, in which we are using the key matrix of 2 cross 2. Next, we'll go to is affine cipher. So affine cipher, it is, I would say, a simple cipher only, but it is a combination of both multiplicative and the additive keys. So in this case, two keys are used, that is K1 and K2. Okay. So again, we have to make use of the integer substitution table. So here the ciphertext is generated by the value C is equal to plain text integer equivalent into K1 plus K2. So PX here denotes the integer equivalent of the plain text character, single character at a time. So let's say the key we are using is 37, that is K1 is 3 and K2 is 7. So the key is expressed as an ordered pair, where first value tells you K1 and the second value is the value of K2. And let the plain text to be encoded as same. So in this case, I first find the integer equivalent of the plain text we want to encrypt. So that is what we get from the substitution table. S has the integer equivalent of 18, A0, I8, and L11. Using these values in this equation and replacing K1 as 3 and K2 as 7, I simply get these values. 3 into 18, that gives me the value 3, that is 4 to 54 plus 7. 54 plus 7 is 61. So if I take the mod of it, so yes, 26 into 2 is 52. So 61 minus 52 gives me 9. So it returns me 9. Similarly, for A, it is 3 into 0 plus 7. 7 mod 26. It is 7 only. So 3 into 8, 24. 24 plus 7, 31. 31 minus 26, that is 5. And 33 plus 7, 40. 40 and 26, it gives me the 40 minus 26 is 14. So these are the integer equivalents of my cipher text values. So again, from the substitution table, I find the equivalent alphabets. So 9 has the equivalent character J, 7 has H, 5 F, 14 has the value O. The substitution table is same what we have been using at the beginning. Okay. So same is being used here also. So now the sale has been encrypted using the affine cipher as JHFO. Okay. So I hope it is very clear. It was a pretty simple encryption technique. Let's now go for the decryption. So as we all know, decryption is always the reverse of encryption, and we need to understand, we need to know the keys for that. So we know the value of K2 is 7 and the value of K1 is 3. So simply Y here denotes what it is by ciphertext integer equivalent. X is my plain text integer equivalent. So how did I get my ciphertext? It was from this equation. That is Px K1 plus K2. K1 is 3, K2 is 7. So it becomes 3 into X plus 7. So same I've just applied. So I'm requiring or getting my ciphertext by 3x plus 7. So first, I try to make it suitable for Baudelaire 26. So I try to add a value to my K2, that is 7 in this case, so that the total becomes 26. Okay, because मुझे अब I want to find x. मेरे पास y है, मुझे x ढूंढना है. तो I need to separate out x. So पहले मुझे खत्म करना है इस वैल्यू 7 को. So 7 को हम कैसे खत्म कर सकते हैं बॉट 26 में? by making it equivalent to 36. So जब तक वो 36 के मल्टीपल्स ऐड होते जाएंगे तो मैं 3x को सेपरेट आउट कर पाऊंगी. So on both the sides I add this value which makes my K2 26. So K2 is 7. 7 में ऐसा क्या ऐड करना है कि टोटल 26 हो जाए. So 26 minus 7, that is 19. So I add 19 to both the sides. On adding, this becomes 26. Here y plus 19. So again, this whole, when it is what 26 is applied, the remainder what I am having is 3x only. So I have the simple equation y plus 90 is equal to 3x. अब मुझे 3x में से भी x चाहिए, मुझे 3 नहीं चाहिए. Again मैं divide नहीं कर सकती. That is a difficult process. It makes the things more complex. So again, the division is there. I go for multiplicative inverse. So इस चीज को x को 1 करने के लिए I find the multiplicative inverse of 3. So मुझे 3 को किससे मल्टीप्लाई करना चाहिए so that my mod of 26 becomes 1, gives me the remainder 1, because मुझे 0 नहीं चाहिए, मुझे remainder 1 चाहिए, because x into 1 is 1. So it means 3 has to be multiplied by some value. I'll take it z in this case, so that z, the product, whatever it is coming, 3z, when I apply mod 26, it should give me, so 3 का मल्टीपल चाहिए मुझे. So clear, 27 would do the purpose. 3 को किससे मल्टीप्लाई करना चाहिए जो 27 आए? 9. Implies 9 is the multiplicative inverse in this case. So simply दोनों sides को 9 से have multiplied. So 27x when modulated by 26, it gives me the value 1. So x is the remainder, x into 1 is that. So now I have the equation 9y plus 19 equal to x. अब y क्या है? साइफर टेक्स्ट की इंटीजर इक्विवेलेंट. सो मेरा पहला साइफर टेक्स्ट यहाँ पे क्या था? सेल वर्ड था. साइफर टेक्स्ट था JHFO. तो पहला कैरेक्टर s की जगह क्या था? J. तो J का if I find out from the substitution table, it is 9. So I just apply that. 9 plus 19 into 9, it gives 252. 252 को I when modulate, apply modulate 26, it gives me the answer 18. Okay. So it means the first character what I need to apply is back is 18 is the integer equivalent. So इसके वापस अगर हम equivalent later find out करते, that is s, which is correct. So s was the plain text encoded into j, and decryption gives me back j to s. Now let's apply this to all the characters. So JHFO सबकी मैं integer equivalent I apply. 9 is for J, H के लिए 7, F के लिए 5, O के लिए 14. I apply the same formula. 9 into the value of the integer equivalent of cyber, that is from this vector, plus 19, and then apply what? These are the values what I get. So what answer do I get? 18, 0, 8 and 11. 18 corresponds to S, 0 corresponds to A, 8 corresponds to I, and L corresponds, 11 corresponds to L. So my actual decrypted word is sale, which is correct. So with this we come to the end of decryption using the Affine cipher. Next, in the next video, we are going to learn transposition encryption. Okay. Thank you so much.